Yes, yes, yes. You have made a wise decision. You have thought holy and smart and tuned in.
Holy and smart?
Yeah, intelligent, maybe holy and intelligent. And you've tuned in. I can never say that word. To the greatest podcast in history of Catholic priests in Payne County. You got us, Father Brian O'Brien and Father Kerry Wakulich, the two pastors.
We're back. It's been a month since we've been in the same room. We did many interviews of many interesting people. Kira Ziola, new youth minister.
Your cousin, Jonathan O'Brien?
Actually, Father Healy.
He was on?
He was on.
No.
And then you talked to Jonathan O'Brien. That was interesting. I was interested to hear his conversion story.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten to know the Focus missionaries this year.
Yeah.
Since you banned them from... No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to be talking to this Nutella banana sandwich over here in a minute. Oh,
During the show?
Why wouldn't I?
No.
You don't like the sound of me chomping? Hey, something new?
Oh, wait. And then last week, I had teenagers on.
Oh.
Tommy Cabine and Ben Wells and Ryan Hansen talking about... Yeah, they all were right there on the couch. And we talked about their evangelization project, the Good News Magazine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
GoodNewsMagazine.xyz is their website. They were hilarious. They were really funny. They don't know that they're funny.
Yes, 2 of those 3 boys were my former parishioners and altar boys.
Yes.
Yeah, I handed them on to you, Ryan.
We got it.
Cabine.
Good, strong parenting. Also,
I agree.
Anyway, so it's been a month since we crossed a threshold, which was our 250th episode.
Big whoop! I don't care. I'm just kidding.
That's a lot.
I know.
If we can get the bishop to keep us here for a while, we can get to 1,000.
That's a long time.
Just 15 more years, and we'll get to 1,000.
That's a long time to be in heaven. God's country, Stillwater, America, the Red Dirt Riviera.
All right, everyone, start writing to the bishops.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Please don't write to them. All right, we want to be here till... All right, well, you and I will get new assignments in, 2038.
Wow. 2038. I hope.
You'll celebrate your 15th anniversary of the new church. We'll celebrate our 20th, and we're out.
Wow.
And then we'll go together.
To Barnesdall.
To Cushing. Or...
No, then
I want to go to Clayton, the parish in Clayton, which is
closed, didn't it?
Well, they had one guy, and then he started going to mass in Talahina, I think.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So it's technically still open,
right?
But you and I could move to Clayton.
No, dude, I want to go to the north end of Grand Lake
and just where Veneta Grove, Miami.
No.
Welch,
Miami, north end.
We go to Welch.
Right where you cross the bridge, sailboat bridge, hang a right turn.
Well, the life of priests, we go where we're sent.
That's it.
Bloom where you're planted.
I have a question.
Please.
I was caught a little off guard the other morning. There was something weird radiating from the chapel windows.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
In the house?
No, across the parking lot.
Our new stained glass windows.
Apparently,
we could do a show on the stained glass windows.
Apparently, they're not ugly.
They are not ugly. I strong recommend. Go to the chapel. It's our St. Teresa of Calcutta chapel, named for Mother Teresa.
Oh.
Go to the chapel to pray with the Blessed Sacrament.
Hang out with Jesus.
That's that's your number one there. But then, while you're there, to help you pray, you can contemplate on 6 new stained glass windows that tell the story of Luke 24 and the road to Emmaus.
Luke 24. Oh, yes. The opening of the scriptures.
Our hearts were burning.
Were not our hearts on fire when...
Yeah. It's really cool. My favorite thing about the windows... No, I'll hold back because maybe we'll do a whole show on the windows.
Okay, great. Let's do that.
Okay.
So that was really exciting to see that. Because we're finishing up for our April 29th dedication.
I'm excited.
It's basically, hey, just
people are calling and wanting to stay at the rectory.
You know what? It's already full.
I hang up on them. Monsignor Pat Gallus, get out of here.
He's coming?
Well, he called me.
Well,
but
you know what's funny is a
I
lot of priests have not RSVP'd.
That is, remember when we did that show about annoying things that priests do?
Yeah. And so other people are like, I'm coming to the dedication.
And you're like, you weren't invited.
And the invitations very clearly say
I did see that. What does it say? Only the person named.
The person's named on this envelope are admitted to the dedication.
No plus ones.
Well, no, it was like plus. You all right over there?
Yeah, I had a head cold.
Oh.
I'm on the down. I'm on the recovery end of my week-long head cold.
One, it's to honor our donors and thank them because the kids get to use it all the time. But people are coming in. Literally, we raised money from 48 states.
You got to have mass later in the day.
We are. There's going to be other things going on.
That's what we did here, and it was very helpful.
But it's also, the kids can go to mass for the rest of their time while they're here in college. So this dedication is not for them. It's for our donors who are coming in from, I know people that are coming in for 40 states.
The graces are for them.
Yeah. I mean, they get to use it all the time.
The graces.
Yeah, but people from middle of nowhere, Texas and Florida.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a limited space.
Alaska coming in.
When we did dedicated ours 5 years ago, I had, friends from Tulsa who were like, curious or like wanted to come like to support me or, just people that I didn't even know who were like, see you there. And I was like, no, like, please come, but please do not come to the dedication mass. We're going to have 2 masses later in the day. Yeah. We're going to have mass the next day and for the next 5 years. So
Taylor Akins will be standing at the doorway, tapping her last seat as a Pradas and be like, let me see your card.
Oh, do I have to bring my card?
You have to bring your admittance card.
Okay, good. I have it in my my 43 folders over in my office.
Okay. So we've been jibber jabbering and now.
We need to talk about Palm Sunday.
Okay, let's do that
because it is this week, Holy Week. So we've done episodes before on sort of walking through Holy Week, but I think of a particular focus on Palm Sunday.
What are you looking for?
Would be my life. I was going to get the readings for Palm Sunday.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Okay, so Palm Sunday, which it has an official name.
It's
Palm Sunday of the Lord's Passion.
I know that you love those names. Yeah, because it does have
it's not in the Magnificat. Man.
Because it's in the Holy Week book. Which
Dang it.
Yeah.
That's over in my office.
Boo you.
Crud.
Well, what's beautiful, I love Palm Sunday, is the gospel outside. The way I always get students.
We don't do the gospel outside.
You don't do the gospel outside?
We got like 500 people.
And?
I don't know. They're old.
And? Get some carts or some dollies and...
Dollies.
Get them on in there.
That's hilarious.
One thing I love about Palm Sunday is the entrance into the church. I've done it every year as a priest, except at St. Thomas More.
Putting people on dollies?
Yeah, maybe a cart or something.
That'd be hilarious.
Because Palm Sunday is this, the beauty of the entrance into Jerusalem of the Messiah. But not only just the Messiah. Remember, he's entering in as a king too. And I think people miss that because, when King David is about to die.
In
the Old Testament, how does Absalom, his son, who's trying to seize power, knowing his dad's going to die, how does he enter in? And they say he's going to be entering in on a donkey. And he's like, okay, this is what I want you to do. Bathsheba comes and says, hey, you promised this to my son, the Queen Mother. That's a whole nother talk about the Queen Mother and her role in salvation. But she says...
She died, the Queen Mother.
Yeah, she died too. But she says to David, this is what's going on.
A few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
It's so sad. Oh, you're talking about Mary.
No, I'm talking about Mary. No, I'm talking about Bathsheba, knucklehead.
And this is how we get off the rails. Okay, back to Palm Sunday.
Because then King David says, hey, okay, guys, this is what I need you to do to make my son, Bathsheba's son, Solomon king. And it's to put him on my donkey and walk him into the city. And so in Jerusalem, whenever the king was entering, he entered in on his war donkey because the roads are so steep and horses won't be able to traverse this stuff. And that's how you identify the king. And so when Jesus shows up and he journeys into Jerusalem on a donkey, what is he publicly saying? I am the king that you've been waiting for. I am the king of the Davidic Empire. I am the long-awaited Messiah
Woo.
too.
Yeah.
Because then they're singing, Hosanna to the Son of David.
Christ
Hosanna,
the King.
They're saying, Hosanna, God, and they're saying, Hosanna to the Son of David, your David. So this is what's really beautiful, because in the Old Testament, remember when they came into the Promised Land, was it Samuel who was anointing? Yeah, God says, Samuel and God are talking, and Samuel says, they want a king. And he says, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. They're rejecting me as their king, and they just want to be like everybody else. So Palm Sunday is not just some event where we wave some palms in the air and like make origami church stuff out of our palm branches, which is...
What do they do in Japan?
I mean, ramas. I mean, we even call that in Spanish.
Well, I bet Palm Sunday in Japan is a real thing.
I wonder what Palm Sunday is like in Alaska.
Ooh, or Jerusalem.
Well, getting palms up there, but it's a very awesome, beautiful event, because it's also a week before the Lord's Passion.
Yeah, that is what strikes me about Palm Sunday, is how quickly things turn. So, on Sunday, there we are. And I think the beautiful thing, we can sort of take ourselves out of it. I mean, I kind of preach this from time. It's kind of a little theme of like, we look at Peter, or we look at, Thomas, or, and like they deny Jesus, or they, like Thomas, like, unless I, touch my hands into his side. And we look at them and go, those idiots. So Peter, what a dummy. I would have never done. And then we're like, but if you internalize it and you realize, okay, I am Peter, I am Thomas. And so when we do the passion, the reading of the passion, the proclamation of the passion, I hope that as we do it, people put yourself in it. And that's true of like on Good Friday, we're the ones yelling out. It's the people's part of the passion narrative where they're yelling out like, crucify him, crucify, and we're not sort of playing a part. Our sins crucified Jesus. And so to really internalize it, I mean, it can be very beautiful. And it's sort of a little examination of conscience to look at yourself. But anyway, of just how quickly things turn, that on Sunday, here we are, Palm Sunday, he's our king, Hosanna, and it's this like festive kind of thing. And then Thursday, everyone's abandoned him. Friday, he dies on the cross. Saturday, everyone's like, it's over, we lost.
Despair sets in. So
yeah.
That
and just how quickly. But then if you look at like your own life, there's times where you're like, I just love Jesus and I'm going to set the world on fire. And then like the next day, like you don't pray at all. Like quick turn.
Yeah, that is a quick turn.
That's what strikes me every year about Palm Sunday and just Holy Week in general.
Yeah, is this are we going to dive into? Can we go down the road? Can we just talk real quick about like consolation and desolation?
We can, sure.
Okay, let's go down this, because I mean, neither of us have notes, so we just came up with this topic and we said this is what we want to talk about.
I don't know that we've ever had notes, but
yes. You come prepared.
If by prepared you mean I have a pile of papers that I shuffle around and
make noise like you're actually reading something.
Yeah.
This is the consolation when everything is teeming and there's this zealous joy. Maybe it's even beyond, everybody's like getting on the bandwagon of what's going on of Palm Sunday. And then we swing to the opposite direction of like darkness and despair and sadness. And we swing between these two of consolation and desolation, and maybe even worse than that, of teeming, uncontrollable zeal, and all is falling apart. The sky is falling syndrome.
Yeah.
And that is a dangerous swing for us to have.
But we do it all the time.
Yeah, sure we do.
Yeah.
So when people, like, as you come to the end of your Lenten season and you think to yourself like, oh, you know what? I've done all this good stuff now during the season of Lent. Now I'm going to stop fasting and I'm going to stop praying. It's like, I'm going to do all these things during Lent. If you say to yourself like, okay, I'm going to stop doing all these things and now it's Easter and I don't have to, I'm not going to stop going to daily mass. It's like, no, if you put on your life plan to go to daily mass or to pray your rosary or listen to Bible in the year or catechism in the year.
Or you've rooted out some kind of sinister sin in your life.
Yeah.
Then Easter is not the time to pick that back up or to like sort of lower your guard against some vice or to pull back on some virtue.
Yeah, I think there's some rejoicing like, oh, the Lord is saving me. We come to this close to this end of Lent and we're like, Lord, you are saving me. You are helping me along the way. You are my King and my God. And then we sort of forget about it. And then when Lent is over, we're like, oh.
Yeah, back to
I think for me,
normal.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I try to grow in temperance every year, which is touch, drink, and eat. And I really try to work on those three things of temperance during Lent. But you know what? We throw a huge rager on Easter Sunday night or Easter Saturday night. And there's a pig.
There is a role for feasting.
There's a beer. And then I use the Easter octave to just eat like a pig. Yeah. What does that book say? Eat, Fast, Feast by J.W. Richardson.
Yeah, I mean the liturgical calendar allows for feasting, but not gluttony.
Well, I go the gluttony way. I just like
you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
I know I shouldn't. But then I just like I actually, because I didn't actually find temperance, I found like starving myself. I haven't found temperance.
You need moderation.
Well, I need temperance, which is the well-orderedness between starvation and gluttony. It's the well-orderedness between the two extremes. It's the virtue. But then when Lent ends and I pick back up eating, I haven't really found the gift of temperance.
Yeah.
I think it goes with like people try to give up profanity. That's like, okay. Or they try to give up reading the news during Lent and paying so much attention to what's going on in the world. And then Easter Sunday, they say, wow, okay.
What did I miss?
Yeah, now I can feast on all these things. And as soon as we do that, we get pulled back in. And this sort of darkness comes, this Good Friday, abandoning the Lord, darkness just sets into us.
Yeah. So you want to be careful. You want to kind of, it's almost like when you're sleeping, right? And when you wake up, like you don't immediately turn on every light and every sound. You know, there's a gradualness to waking up, or there should be. Uh-huh. It's when you're woken up by a fire alarm. That's not good. It's not good. It'll get you up, but it's not good. There's like coming out of your fasting, kind of gradually. So if you don't, I mean, you see this a lot where people don't eat. Yeah, just say you don't eat meat for 7 weeks, 6 weeks, right? And then after the Easter Vigil, you eat a pork chop and a steak and half a pig. Like
I get the meat sweats.
Like it's gonna hurt, man. Don't do that. Have some meat, like some.
Are you talking to me? Talk to me. Talk to me, Goose.
Kyle
me, Goose.
Our seminarian Kyle was telling a story when he was in, where was he in, like Austria or something, and he wanted to go to confession, and the priest like hardly spoke English, and so he goes to confession, and the priest like didn't have like any phrases, and so when it came to the time where like the priest can offer some advice, the priest just said, "Don't do that." Okay, act of contrition. Like that was the advice. Don't just don't.
Very simple.
Just don't do that anymore. Okay. Coming out of your fasting with, if you gave up coffee, let's say, and then you drink a gallon of coffee, have a cup of coffee,
Yes.
have your favorite cup of coffee in honor of the resurrection, splurge a little bit. Yeah. But you don't have to have a lot of it.
Well, the failure that we're trying to, or as that prayer said one time, the remedy towards our sin, like God gives this remedy. The remedy is this fast, these penance, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving that we're doing during the season of Lent to allow Jesus to be our King and our God, like on Palm Sunday. And then we go back rather immediately.
Yeah, don't go back. Don't go back. Okay, so the readings of Palm Sunday are really quite something.
Okay.
So Mass starts a little different. So what we're used to on a Sunday is, welcome to St. John Catholic Student Center. Please stand, or whatever. And then the priest and the servers, we come down the aisle. That's not how Palm Sunday starts. Mm-hmm. And so it's intentional. The church is saying, this is different. Right? Easter Vigil, Same thing. We're starting outside with a gigantic fire and, and walking around with candles. Like this is different. Yep. This is not the 17th Sunday in ordinary time. And so the Palm Sunday begins with Matthew chapter 21. When Jesus, I'm not going to read the whole thing. When Jesus and the disciples drew near to Jerusalem and came to Bethpage on the Mount of Olives. So that's where, Hosanna to the Son of David, which, by the way, just to connect to, we did a whole series on the Mass, which we also want to revisit in later episodes. But, when we say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, Hosanna in the highest. That's Matthew 21. So we say that every Mass. We're proclaiming what the crowd proclaimed to Jesus, that he is indeed our King. Yeah. And then that connects well to the big solemnity in November, right? The Sunday before Advent begins.
Oh, Christ the
which
King.
is the solemnity of Jesus Christ, King of the universe.
Oh yeah, the full title.
All right, so then we'll hear. This is what's great is at the end of that gospel, Matthew 21. Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. And when he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was shaken.
Yeah.
And asked, "Who is this?" And the crowds replied, "This is Jesus the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee."
Yeah. We talked about that Nazareth meaning stump town.
Yeah. Can anything good come from Nazareth?
That there was a sprout that was going to come from the stump of Jesse. So Nazareth is the town where the Messiah, the King, is going to be arriving.
They probably have that on the sign as you enter Nazareth. Stumptown. Stumptown, USA. All right, then the first reading is Isaiah 50. The Lord God is my help. There, that's a good one. The responsorial psalm is Psalm 22, which we're going to hear later on in Holy Week. Psalm 22 is what Jesus quotes from the cross. My God, why have you abandoned me?
Yeah, the great psalm of hope.
Yep.
A man of great faith and hope.
So Psalm 22, what's amazing is Psalm 22 is like, oh, my God, why have you abandoned me? And then like Psalm 23 is like everyone's favorite, and let's use it at every wedding and funeral. And
what's Psalm 23?
The Lord is my shepherd.
Oh.
Yeah. And of course, everyone in Stillwater likes it because it has, he leads me.
Nice.
The New American Bible that we use at Mass leads by restful waters. He leads me, but everyone in Stillwater says by still waters. Okay, then we have Philippians 2, and then we have another gospel. So this is we get double gospels.
Oh yeah,
on Palm Sunday, and it's Matthew 26. So we start Mass with Matthew 21, and then later Matthew 26, and it's Judas handing over Jesus.
It's the dialogue, right?
It's kind of the Last Supper. While they were eating, Jesus took bread, said the blessing, broke it. Take and eat. This is my body. And then Jesus came to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go over and pray." And then they all fall asleep. But that's one where we would be like, they're so dumb. Why can't they can't even stay awake with him. And then, think about how you are at Mass.
You can't pay attention for 1 hour?
Right. Right. Or if we were to say to people, hey guys, we're going to do a holy hour in the church. What? An hour? Oh, I have Pilates. No. I'm sorry. I have an ultimate Frisbee game that I have to go to. It's us, man. It's us. We're all over this. Anyway, and then he gets arrested, and he's led away to Caiaphas, the high priest, and it's amazing. I mean, it's good stuff. It's long. It's a long gospel. It's the dialogue that we do.
Yeah.
So really, yeah, lock in.
Okay, great.
Lock in on Palm Sunday. It's really quite something. Okay, I'll just say one quick thing. We still have a few minutes, but if you have old palms, you can bring those to us.
Oh.
That's a little throwaway thing, but don't throw them away. I didn't mean it that way. If you have old palms, you can bring them to the church.
Because then we incinerate them.
We will take them from you and properly dispose of them.
They turn into ashes for next year. Do y'all burn them at some time? You burn them at the Easter Vigil?
No, we don't.
Oh, you should give them to me.
Okay.
Because I burn them at the Easter Vigil.
I'll happily give them to you.
Oh yeah.
What's the deal with when Jesus speaks in a different language in the gospel? It always throws off the. The priests are usually doing the part of Jesus. So it says, from noon onward, darkness came over the whole land. This is Jesus, on the cross, until 3 p.m. And about 3:00, Jesus cried out in a loud voice.
Yeah,
this is Psalm 22.
Yeah, there's the preservation of those. I mean, he says to the little girl, Talitha kum.
Yeah.
So he leaves. There are times when Aramaic or Hebrew is preserved in the Gospels.
Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?
I would say, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani.
Eli, E-L-I?
Eli, Eli.
Eli, Eli, lema
sabachthani.
Which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? And then it says, some of the bystanders who heard it said, this one is calling for Elijah. Immediately, one of them ran to get a sponge. He soaked it in wine and putting it on a reed, gave it to him to drink. But the rest said, well, wait, let us see if Elijah comes to save him. But Jesus cried out again in a loud voice and gave up his spirit.
Yeah. If you ever have the opportunity, read Scott Hahn's The Four Cups.
The fourth cup.
The fourth cup, yeah, because he connects that with the fourth cup. I always wish that Palm Sunday was just about Palm Sunday. I was like, why do they have to throw all this rest of the stuff of Jesus' passion in here?
Because it all goes together.
I know, but we got Good Friday coming up.
I wonder if it's because most people don't come on Good Friday.
Oh, go on.
They don't, and we have one service on Good Friday. Most people don't come.
So you're saying people should take the day off on Good Friday?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, in our last minute, what is your Holy Week schedule?
My Holy Week schedule is on the calendar at CatholicWorks.com. It is Thursday at 5:30, and then there's Eucharistic adoration and confessions till 11:59. Then we lock the door.
Nice.
And Friday at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, Easter Vigil, 8 minutes after sundown. And then Sunday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
That's the Holy Week schedule.
Love it. Yeah. Our schedule is, Palm Sunday, usual schedule. We're doing a Tenebrae on Wednesday night at 7. Holy Thursday, evening Mass of the Lord's Supper at 7. Good Friday service at 7. We're going to have stations at 3 and Spanish stations at 4. And then Easter Vigil at 8:30 on Saturday night. And then regular Sunday schedule, 8:30, 11:15, 1 p.m. in Spanish.
Sweet.
We're going to baptize some babies on Easter Sunday.
Cool.
That's going to be fun. Two of them at the Spanish Mass.
Oh,
dig it.
That music.
Dig it. So happy Holy Week.
Yes,
fired
sir.
up. Also, Chrism Mass. Chrism Mass, Tuesday, 5:30, Holy Family Cathedral. If you've never been to a Chrism Mass, you might check that out. Have a great day. God bless.